Hello, everybody. This is going to be a quick demo on how to get going on the data sorting and analysis extension. So you can see it's right here. Click on that. We can sort of see a little bit of information about sorting. We're going to be in a building selection sort. The first thing you'll do is create an ARGS processor, read in how many pieces of data you want, and then print out those data. So for example, if you said entered in 5, then 3, 4, 1, 5, 2. You would know those are the 5 pieces of data you'd want. You'd print out 3, 4, 1, 5, 2, not the original 5. That is the length, obviously. Then you're going to print it out sorted. So you would have already printed input out, then you print sorted. And then you're going to print out some, some information about it, like what's the mean, what's the median, what's the min, max, and range of this. And what I'm going to show you right now is how to use the test suite to hopefully help you get through this extension. So first, if you've cloned from GitHub, you should have this project in your repo. Inside the source directory, you'll find a package for each of the extensions. And here's the sorting and analysis one. You'll find data sorting and analysis.java. You'll find this starter code, and you'll find this main program. Now, obviously, you're going to end up like starting out by just creating an ARGS processor. Get going by reading in, how many pieces of data you want and what each piece of the data is, and you're going to start printing it out. In this, I'm just going to do something simple, like saying, let's just print like Fred. So if I run this, obviously you will build something much better than this. You can see I'm printing Fred. If I run this test suite that's sitting right beside this program, and I run it as a JUnit test, you can see that it's going to start running a bunch of tests. The first thing it tests is the format. It just basically says, like, is this thing reasonably formatted? So it's looking for input, and you can see it was expecting 9, 42, and 12. So I could just be like, well, all right, so I'm going to do input 9, 42, and 12. Now, I'm not going to be any reasonably closer to solving this actual program. But you can see that, I'm not actually closer to getting any points for this extension, but if I run this, I will actually pass the format test, because it's not checking to see if everything's formatted. It's just checking what you've done so far. So you can see now echo input is wrong. In this case, we tested on data where it's expecting the data to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And I expected that line. These are all the lines it wanted, but the first one that went wrong was input, and it was expecting this. And what do you know? We are not listening to these input at all. We're just printing out this information, so that's wrong. So that's perfectly reasonable that would happen. You can imagine then I print out George, or I go to start printing sorted, and I'm like, I print George or Fred or whatever I want here. Now, all of a sudden, when I run this test suite again, you're going to see that we might end up back where, oh, nothing seems to be working. Don't worry about this too much. The format has now just gotten to this new line, and it's going to try to help you just make sure that at least something is reasonably formatted there, right? And then we'll say like 5. And that is, of course, not correct, but we may end up actually passing the format again, and it gets us back to like, all right, so your thing seems to be reasonably formatted, but the values are not correct. Okay, so that's of some amount of interest. What I wanted to do is I actually had this, I left this code, I previously committed it as a slightly broken version. So let me discard all these changes. One of the nice things in Git is you can roll back to some previous version. If you're confused about that, just go back to the video part where I did that. I just right-clicked on it and said restore from head, probably is what it would be called. And I've left the solution is down here. I didn't want to rob you of the joy of building this extension. So it's like, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see it. But I've left the code in sort of in a sort of more interestingly broken state, or maybe not too much more interesting, but you can see now I'm sort of passing a bunch of tests in here. I haven't done the max and the min yet, but I have this mean test problem, and where it's sort of passing echo input, sorted, everything like that. You can sort of get an inclination that maybe the problem's going to be down here in mean. But if you look, oh, just the formatting is wrong. And it looks like it's expecting the mean to be 21. And what do you know? I'm printing average of 21. And so I don't want you to treat these tests as, oh, it's not working. Let me just try to figure out what's wrong. There's nothing wrong with trying to figure out what's wrong with your code, but you can also use these as clues to help you figure out what has gone wrong. And we're going to try to print out something useful here that says, well, you printed these lines. This is what I was expecting. It seemed to have gone wrong on the line where I was trying to find mean, and I didn't find it. And you can sort of see that it's average instead. And so you can go back and change that. And so with that, good luck on this extension. Hopefully it will go well. And if not, we'll be here to help.